Hey everybody, what's good? What's Gucci? What's up? That's our new intro now.
That's your new intro?
Yeah. This is episode 3. We've done three episodes.
And we're doing 2 in one night. So.
Yeah, this is actually just back to back. Like, we just uploaded and we're doing another one.
I'm probably going to edit this one tomorrow and we'll probably take a break for a day. We're going to take
a break from, like, editing and stuff like
3
that.
in 3 days is good enough.
But yeah, 3 for 3 days. We're doing good. So this is episode 3 of Unedited. Welcome to Unedited. Thank you for listening so much.
Yes, and we're talking about weird jobs today. Weird jobs that we've had.
We both started working pretty young. I started working at 15.
Started working at 12.
That's crazy, but...
I worked before 12 because when I was like 8 or 9, I was like helping my grandfather with like carpentry stuff. So like I've been working for a while.
I had odd jobs, but like my first job was at 15.
15.
And
That's normal.
Yeah.
Mine's younger than most.
For sure. But that was my first job, was a camp counselor, and I've got a bunch of stories.
That was your first one?
From that. Yeah, my first job was being a camp counselor, and I've got a bunch of stories from stuff like that, just because I had...
How did you get that job, though?
It was an interesting thing. I was at my church, and I already knew the person who was hiring, and so I just came in and was like, hey, what's good? Like, you know me.
Yeah.
And so I got the job relatively easy, but it, like, led to other opportunities that I felt were, like, way better. Like, I worked at an elementary school after that, and I just mentioned that I worked at that camp, and she was like, oh, I love that camp. My son went to that camp. We love it, blah, blah, blah. So it led to really good opportunities, but it kind of got handed to me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was still a great job.
I would say my first job. The first job I had was a butcher shop, so it wasn't the greatest job, I guess, in the world. But the people were like there's like a couple that run it, and they've been married for like 30 years or something. They were like amazing human beings, so it's like really tough about amazing human beings. But like sort of similar situation. They went to my church.
Yeah.
And so like I wasn't handed it though. Like I had to like seek it out just a little bit. But like
I had like an interview and everything. I had to like come in like at 15 with my like little resume of nothing.
I didn't even do a resume.
Oh really?
I didn't do a resume. I didn't do a thing. I went like I was interested in a job, so he knew that. Told him after church one day, and then I like went in to the place, but it wasn't an interview. He was like, okay, so like when can you start?
Yeah.
And I was like, now. And he's like, bet. There's some boots right there. She had to wear like big rubber boots.
That's crazy,
so I worked that day. Here's the thing, because I was so young I couldn't drive, but my mom had to work. I would take the school bus after school to my job.
That's insane.
And I'd get off and like I dumped because I had a little break room.
Like tell the bus driver like drop me off at my job?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like, what?
And so like you just like, it's like down like a hill, so you go like, you've been there.
Yeah,
It's like you go down a hill and then like they let you out, and then I would go in and go to the break room. I would change into like clothes that could get like destroyed because they had like a washer and stuff there. So like my dad, I never took them home.
Yeah.
I took them home starting with up until the point I like drove. So I did it regularly pretty much because I didn't want to change sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was funny though because my mom was like, "Okay, Chief, get rid of those clothes." Like
I would too.
Well, like I washed my clothes. Like I like started doing my own laundry like early on,
like
10 or something. So like that was pretty normal.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Yeah, those don't even in the house." Cause it's kind of my fault.
I'm with her on that one.
I would leave them in the hamper in the bathroom. So like anyone who went in the bathroom would just smell like straight up butcher shop, which is not good.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said, "Chief, don't bring them home."
Yeah, I've called your mom.
So I started cleaning them there.
Get out of the house with your cow blood on your pants. Like that's crazy.
Okay, I will say to the podcast before we start, I did not hurt or harm any
animals. You didn't even you didn't do anything.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
So, yes. Also, I will say it did make me appreciate my food more. Like meat now.
Yeah.
It's like I eat all of it. Like meat-wise, like I'll leave vegetables around, but like meat, like you like realize what happens to it, and it's like in the process it goes to, you learn to appreciate it.
Yeah, it was spooky. I've been to the butcher shop he's talking
about.
You
went at night too, so that may be a little bit.
It's kind of like a spooky place, that butcher shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first job. Yeah. So what was your first job like?
Mine, so being camp counselor was, I had 6-year-old boys, which is, I wouldn't have wanted anything else. Like that's the age I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted anything other than I was like super happy with what I got. But just like every day, it was just like all hell broke loose every day. Like there was never like a chill day. There was one day we had like this huge water slide, and you would go up it, and then you would go down, and we would just try so hard to get them to go one at a time. So I had this boy, and he is a very big boy. Yeah, he was 7, I think. He like did kindergarten twice, so he was a lot older than everyone. I had people like my kids were going into first grade because it was summer camp, and he goes up, and there was this little bitty baby boy that we had who was so tiny. He was like he was so small and so cuddly, so cute, and so he was behind him. So Izzy goes up first, I was the other boy, and like gets to the top of the water slide, and then the little boy goes behind him, and we were like, oh no. And then when he gets to the very top, the big boy, he falls down the entire flight. Like you had to get like these little inflatable stairs we had to get to the top of
Is
the
it like
water
a
slide.
bounce house type
Yeah,
thing?
it's like one of those. He fell down those and crushed the little boy in between his skin, like himself, his flesh, and like the concrete.
Oh,
And we were like, no! And I
it's
ran.
a bad day at camp for
And
everybody.
I literally had to like peel the big kid off the little baby boy. His name was Willie, and we had to like peel him off.
Willie's a little kid?
Willie was the little boy who was like teeny tiny.
Like, how did he handle it? Did
And
he,
he was like,
burst out crying?
yeah, his lip was like quivering. I was like, William, no.
Yeah.
I grabbed him and I like ran we went inside the bathroom. And he had just like one little drop of blood like on his lip from like the whole endeavor. That was it. It was one little cut. It was like on his lip.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but he was traumatized for life. Like
He's not traumatized for life.
He would never.
He was traumatized for the moment.
No, he didn't go on the sled for the rest of the summer. He was
The
over
rest of the
it.
summer maybe, but like he'll get
That
over
was
it.
3 months.
I have faith in you, Willie. Wherever you're at.
Yeah, I think you'll recover, Willie.
You'll recover. You'll
be fine.
You'll turn out all right.
He'll be fine. But it was insane. Felt so bad. He was this teeny, cute little, like, he had big eyes. He was so cute. I'm like, oh my gosh, we killed William. But he was fine. He was fine. Nothing happened. Like, he did not.
Also, with Lizzie's job, no person was harmed. in her
Nobody was
job.
harmed. No, yeah. Well,
Seriously harmed.
Not, well, I
Little
mean,
cuts.
camp, there was a lot. We had so many broken arms. We had so many, like, it was a summer camp, but it was a day. Like, they didn't stay overnight.
Yeah.
But at the end of the summer, there was an overnight camp, and that was even worse. Like, there was just, like I said, it
Did
just
you ever
broke.
go on like little like summer camp and stuff when you were a kid?
Yeah,
and you
I
go
did
do
when I
stuff?
was young. I went to the summer camp that I'm talking about right now that I
Oh, yeah.
worked at. I
I
went
didn't
to
go
that
to
summer
that
camp.
one, obviously, because that was like a small one for like I think just like that one area.
Yeah.
We went to one. It was like Chaco Springs was the name of it. And so like you go there and you could play like paintball and you had like a whole pool and it was really fun.
I went to a bunch. I went to one called Wonder Book Camp.
Wonder Book
Which
Camp.
I don't think you can imagine, like the Wonder Book, the Bible. It was like a Bible camp, but it was so fun.
I thought it could have been like a summer reading thing. I thought that
Yeah.
too.
Now that I think of it, it could have been that. But yeah, that
I
was
did
super
that
fun.
when I was little too,
What?
like summer reading.
Oh yeah. We talked about we did like Book It, where you would get like free pepperoni pizza and stuff like that
Yeah.
from Pizza Hut. You get the personal pans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that. But I did a couple summer camps that I really enjoyed it. I never was homesick. I never missed my parents. I've never been like that. My little brother used to get so homesick. I've never been like that.
It's weird. Like I'm sort of the same because like I do try. Like, I've traveled by myself a lot. If that makes sense. Like I'll be in a group with people, but like I've been to like DC a few times like just by myself.
That's
like-
a really cool thing. You should talk about that. I like.
Well, that's not what we're talking about in this podcast.
I know,
so
but like you.
for
literally-
another podcast, it is really cool to go see a city by yourself, like when you're like alone sometimes, because you get like a few days. It's pretty cool.
Traveling alone seems really cool. I would rather do it with my
depends.
partner, to be honest. But like,
Yeah.
traveling alone could be cool.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like I didn't travel alone. I traveled with a big group,
Yeah.
but I had like a day or two by yourself.
Yeah, but you broke off and went by yourself.
Yeah, but also like someone in their partner, that would be really cool too.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool, just you and your partner to go to like.
So especially someone you don't live, you have no pressure with anyone you know, so you just go do whatever you
Yeah, I
want.
think that's really cool. I've got an entire list: Bora Bora, Jamaica, Spain, Portugal, Vietnam. Weirdly enough, now because
Now?
of The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Because I saw that was such a weird location they picked, but like it looked so pretty when they went to Vietnam in this last season of The Bachelor.
I wonder if like everywhere's like that, or is there like a small niche?
I don't know. That's such an odd place to pick. I was so confused when I saw that. I'm like, y'all are going to Vietnam, like of all the places, and then Portugal, which was also a weird one because
Portugal sounds like I would like to go to Portugal.
I would like to go to Portugal too, especially
So,
since like
That one didn't throw me for a loop.
I would do it in like I'd go to Portugal probably for a couple days and then spend a lot of time in Spain. I think.
Well, both of those are good.
Yeah.
If I ever get over there, I want to go to the Roman Empire. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Like, to Rome and then, like, go to all the places that the Roman Empire used to be because it's not there anymore.
There's so many cool things.
Yeah. Anyway, back to our
Yeah,
jobs.
but traveling's cool. That's a cool thing
It's
too.
cool.
That I haven't gotten to do as much as you have, but
Yeah.
I would like to.
You've been to some places I haven't been,
Yeah,
though.
but only around the U.S. I've never been out of the country.
I've only been out once.
Yeah.
I've had opportunities to go out, but, like, they kind of fell through. Well, okay, I had, like, opportunity to go to New Zealand at one point, and it didn't really fall through because, like, I could have still went, but, like, the person I was going with, I was, like, going with somebody, and the person that I was going to go with, they, like, couldn't go for like financial reasons and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna go because they invited me in the first place.
Yeah.
It'd be wrong for me to go since they invited me. So
Yeah, I
didn't
feel
go.
that.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to like jobs, my second job that I had, I worked like the blow up slides and stuff that kids bounce on.
Yeah.
Like I went and worked and like set up those because like my family has my mom has a business of that. She created her own business, so like it's literally that. So like I would go and like they're like really heavy. Most people don't get it. I mean they look big, but like most people since they blow up, they think they're light.
Yeah.
But like you go and you like haul them like on a trailer and stuff, and then you go set them up and you blow them up, and then you come down and roll them down, like set it down, like roll it up and load it back up and stuff like that. So I spent from like 16 to 18. It's also what I'm gonna be doing this weekend, which sucks a little bit, but it'd be worth it. But well, not worth it, but I'll get a little bit of money out of it.
Not
So.
really worth it. Waka Flocka Flame is gonna be here.
Obviously, if I had to choose between going to like a concert and hanging out with my friends or working, I'm choosing my friends every day. But at the same time, it's like I think my mom needs some help, so go help her out.
In case you didn't know, for some reason, Waka Flocka keeps coming to our school and playing at frats.
Because they keep paying them.
I guess, but like,
if I got paid
homie
money,
comes here a lot.
I don't care if I was like Drake and like they were like. Also, if he probably goes here, what he probably does is he goes to Alabama, probably makes a little bit extra money, depending on where he's from. Like Atlanta's like such a big place for like rappers. He may be from Atlanta, have family there, so he probably just goes to Atlanta and goes to see his family. Like when he's on the road or something, that way he has like a few breaks. So that's probably what he does.
Yeah, because I feel like Waka Flocka came last semester too. Waka Flocka just stays
Last
here.
semester?
Yeah.
Did you go see him?
No.
Okay, but
I wasn't really going to frat parties back then.
Same. Towards the end maybe a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah, and also the Mo Bamba. His name is Shaq West, the Mo Bamba guy.
Mo Bamba's a basketball player.
That's his song though. He's coming to play it this Friday.
Yeah, but Shaq West, but songs Mo Bamba.
If I said Shaq West, -2 people would know who I was talking about.
That's true.
You have to say the Mo Bamba guy.
Yeah.
That's his only claim to fame.
Like, for now, maybe.
For now, we'll see. Might be a one-hit wonder thing. But we really
just like disrespected. Yeah, we have derailed. Like I try to get us back on, and then it was just like it just doesn't help.
But my my second job was So my second job ever was at Chick-fil-A, which was horrible. I did not enjoy it. It was the worst.
Fast food in general.
It is not my pleasure. It is not my pleasure. It's literally not. We hate saying that. Never go to Chick-fil-A. I could go off. I'm about to pop off, sis. Never go to Chick-fil-A and be like, they're so sweet to me. We hate it. It's like, it's awful.
I like their food. I'm sorry. I like their breakfast burrito.
I got really sick of the food.
Maybe since you worked there, but like I haven't, and so like their breakfast burrito.
It's a lot greasier than people give it credit for too.
I've never tried to pretend it was healthy.
I knew someone, and granted, it was like in church. Like I knew someone in my youth group who tried to tell me Chick-fil-A was healthy. I'm like, Chief, like, do you even know? Like they literally bathe it in canola oil. Like it's so greasy, you bite into it and you can feel the grease coming out.
Well, that's the thing though. Any deep fried food.
Yeah, and we deep fry our fries too. Like what?
They're called fries.
I know, but like, how can you twist it and like tell me, explain to me how Chick-fil-A is healthy? It's not.
You don't, but like you eat it and then you just pray. And when you pray, because it's gonna mess you up. Because I've had some Chick-fil-A, it's kind of like run through me.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was still worth it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've had McDonald's sit better than Chick-fil-A before.
No.
Yes, I have.
I have not.
Well, that's your personal experience. Yeah. That is not mine.
And if you can survive Taco Bell, you can survive any fast food
I've had
chain.
Taco Bell sit better than Chick-fil-A too. Like
I think you just have a thing out for Chick-fil-A because like I'm trying to be like objective because like one of my personal experiences.
I'm super biased because I
think you just don't like them. You want to see them burn, but at the same time, like you kind of can't do that.
It was the most miserable job I had.
Okay, Chick-fil-A. I will say this, and you can take it how you want.
Oh no.
Chick-fil-A has better food than Taco Bell. Quality wise.
Yes, it does. Ooh, how dare you?
You telling me that you're going to go with Taco Bell mystery meat?
Are you joking? Yeah, we don't know what's in the meat, but we don't really know what's in Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm not 100% sure what that grease, when you bite into it and it drips out, I don't know what that is. I think it's like some sort of oil. I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
But I also went to the back and saw them making it and didn't know what was in it.
I've literally seen, like, Taco Bell have, like, some weird oil residue that come off of it. Like off your taco, so like it's gonna be the same.
You haven't seen with your own eyes. I've seen with my own eyes the Chick-fil-A. No, you haven't.
At the butcher shop, when they smoke meat, you see all the fat and stuff that come off of it, and
I
then
don't
you see
think
the
Taco
oil.
Bell uses real meat.
Huh?
So, like, the butcher shop.
Neither does Chick-fil-A. No fast food restaurant uses real meat. Let's just be real. Maybe Wendy's.
Why Wendy's? Why would
Because
Wendy's?
they, like, made a big thing about they actually have real meat. So, like, why would you, like, say that's the biggest thing and if it was, like, fake?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because people are going to find out.
Yeah, probably.
So, but, like, Taco Bell's never claimed to be real meat, and we know it's not. It's just you can go get... I went and I got 3 burritos and a Baja Blast, and they were like $5.
Yeah, it was like $5.
So
It's
that's
cheap,
why
it's
people go.
good.
That's why people go to there.
And like, I get also like Chick-fil-A's got and the Chick-fil-A sauce I will say is good. I don't think it's any
I like the
better.
barbecue sauce.
Yeah, not really.
I like barbecue sauce.
I don't think it's any better than like Cane sauce or Zaxby sauce.
I don't like cane sauce or Zaxby sauce.
I love Cane sauce and I love
Yeah,
Zaxby
not many
sauce.
people gonna know what Cane's is.
I don't know.
Cane's is not just on campus, but like it's still relatively small.
I don't know if that's a southern thing or not. Because
it
I
is.
remember before I came here to the school, the only Cane's that I knew of was a Cane's that was when we went up to Atlanta. There was a Cane's, and that's the only time I ate Cane's.
Well, you know, like like the restaurant Jack's.
Yeah.
Jack's is not anywhere else but the South.
Really?
Yeah, it's like kind of an isolated thing. Also, like Milo's.
I thought Chick-fil-A was just going to stay a southern thing for the longest, but it's like blowing up in LA. Like all these LA YouTubers I watch are like going to Chick-fil-A. Like,
Ryland.
yeah, like Ryland Adams, Shane Dawson's fiance. I was going to say boyfriend, but fiance now.
Fiance now.
And
I still haven't watched that video, by the way.
yeah.
I know this is completely derailed from what we're talking about, but I haven't watched the
Sort
video
of. We're
yet.
talking about Chick-fil-A, but like I want to be unbiased, but like they really do. They treat.
I want to be unbiased, but I'm going to be biased.
Yeah, exactly. I'm exposing here. They treat their employees like literal trash. Like it was awful. Like
to McDonald's level?
I just felt like it was ridiculous. Like I remember one time, she told me something that was like completely unrelated to my job. Like she didn't like the way I stood. Like it was off-putting to.
Also, do you think it's
customers.
like a thing with Chick-fil-A, or do you think it was just that one person?
Like, in all
Or
honesty,
that one like restaurant?
if I will say, it might have been the management I was under.
Yeah.
Because like the managers were known for being like notoriously awful at my Chick-fil-A I was at. But I also know that they knew that they were like not treating us well because they would do things to make up for it. Like we would have like pizza ordered to the restaurant once a month. And like they wanted to make up for the fact that they were paying us $7.25 like minimum wage for working, 40 plus hours.
At the same time, though, like, you need fast food. I'm sorry, but like with minimum wage and stuff like that, yes, $7.25 sucks. But at the same time, it's not like you're like a high quality job. Especially
Even Taco Bell is like $9 an hour. That's very low to pay a person. Like
that's the federal like minimum or whatever. That's the
$7.25.
Yeah, that's what I started out at the butcher shop with. They just did federal, like with the federal.
But you were
minimum.
12. Like there's
And?
grown adult. There's 19, 20, 21-year-olds that like need apartment rent that are being paid $7.25.
Yeah, no, but at the same time,
That's like disrespectfully low.
those jobs, unless you're a manager, were not designed for people to pay rent off of. They're designed for people who are in college and like someone has their tuition, or you're like in your parents' house. That's what those jobs were created for. They wasn't created for people to make a whole wage off of.
But yeah, if I was gonna work fast food, I wish it wouldn't have been Chick-fil-A. I wish I would have chosen something like Taco Bell or McDonald's
I
because
feel like you would have ruined it for you though.
ooh, that's true. I would never.
Because imagine no Taco Bell.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I would
Exactly.
never want Taco Bell to be taken away from me. Like, I wouldn't want that to be soiled or ruined. I know a lot of people who can't eat the food of the restaurant they worked at anymore. Or I even know, like, people who are
Well,
like...
imagine just smelling it every day.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about, like, the smell of Chick-fil-A makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
But, so, stuff like that. And I try to be unbiased, but, like, it was just the whole situation was awful. But, like I said, they knew that we were all being, like, overworked and underpaid and treated poorly. So, like, they would make up for it. Like, one time, like I said, we all went to Six Flags over the summer. Like, the entire staff. And I'm sure that was thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my Chick-fil-A that I worked at made, like, $3 million the last year.
Annually?
Yeah. And so, I don't know what the income was the year after because I left. But, and it's also the only job I've ever quit. I've had, like, seasonal positions in every other job. Like, Chick-fil-A was the only one that ever was like, deuces, I'm leaving. Because, like, I worked...
I've quit one job,
Which job did you quit?
the butcher shop, because I quit it to go work for the inflatables.
Okay.
Because it was a family business.
Mm-hmm.
And also they paid me the same amount of money. Also, but like the butcher shop, they offered to pay me more than what my parents could pay, but at the same time...
Oh, they're trying to keep you.
Yeah.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, well, here's
You
the
must have
thing.
done well.
Well, after I left, because I still like, kept in touch after I left. After I left, apparently, they went to like 4 people. Like, they had like 2 people working in a position that I was running one off of. And they went through like 4 or 5 people, and I still don't think they found anybody. And, like they like used me as like a scale. So I guess I did a pretty good job. They used
Yeah,
me
I
as
guess
like
so.
if like they like find someone to keep. If they compare like to what I did, that's how they know if they keep them. And
Oh,
everyone
wow.
and they
Flex
fired
on 'em.
and they fired 5 people. Yeah, like for real.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah. But that was the only job I ever had to quit. My other one, still obviously summer camp. It ends when the summer's over.
Yeah.
And then I worked for an elementary school. That was super fun. Like, I
What was
really
your
enjoyed that.
Was that the last job you had?
No, the last job I had, I worked at a place called the McGuane Center.
Oh,
It's a science center. Yeah.
my mains is
And
like,
but I
brain
mean,
fart.
that one was, I left on, like, I didn't leave because I never, like, ended the job. That was, so it was a summer position because it was technically a summer camp at the McGuane Science Center. I feel like only people from Birmingham will know what the McGuane Center is, but if you're from Birmingham, people are like, oh my God, the McGuane Center.
It's basically a place you go and you can see like different science experiments. It's almost like a museum. It's like an
That makes it
interactive.
sound boring, but it's so fun.
Well, no, it's not
It's a
like
really
it's
cool
not like
place.
just a museum that like can like interact with the stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
like you can like how do you explain it? You have like a weather map that you can go behind, and it looks like
It's
you're
a
like
green screen.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a green, and you have that, and there's like different things you can do. Like I think they have like a bed of nails.
they do have a bed
you
of
can get
nails that you
on.
can lay on. Mhm.
There's like slides, trains.
Yeah.
Just pretty cool place to take like your kids, I guess, if you would have.
It's
them.
a lot. It's a part of a lot of people's childhood. It was a part of mine
I
too.
went during a school trip. We went to a school trip when I was like in
Oh, I did too.
third or
Third
fourth
grade.
grade.
Third grade.
Third
Yeah, me
grade,
too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get on the little. There's like a little bike thing that like has counterweights
The
on
high
the
bike,
bottom.
I worked that. Yeah.
There's like counterweights on the bottom so it doesn't flip over, and so you're supposed to like go across like on like a line. And it's like I didn't because like we had to leave and I was mad.
It's like this steel tightrope, and then it's got a like this massive weight at the bottom, and you pedal out, you pedal backwards.
Yeah.
And like every child always knows how to pedal backwards, and then you hit a spring and it pushes you back. It's like it's like a ride.
Yeah.
It's like an
It's very
amusement
fun.
park type ride. Like it's very like you have
I've
to be
I've
certain
done
height.
it because I did go back
Mm-hmm.
after because I didn't do it on the third grade trip. I think we went back like with my family or something. And I got on it then,
Mm-hmm.
like 5th grade, and I was like, finally,
Yeah.
I had like my like peaceful moment. I had it.
But it's rough because I worked that a lot. I worked the high bike a lot in the summer. I went back over Christmas break and worked at McGuane Center for like, I think we were off school for 3 weeks. We were off for a while. I got like a pretty nice paycheck from the 3 weeks that I like was off
For
school.
Christmas break.
Mm-hmm, for Christmas break. I did not work for spring break, but I'll probably go back and work in the summer. But so I worked the high bike last summer, the summer before I left for college that I worked. And there we have a weight limit. And apparently, I don't know if this is true, apparently there used to be a scale and they used to actually weigh people. Imagine. Like that's like sorry, you're too fat for the ride. That's humiliating. Like,
There was so like we're not getting into like too many details of this, but like
I know
me
you're
and-
about to say you're about to talk about Six Flags.
yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Me and Lizzie went on spring break and we had like a day and we went to like Six Flags and there was like this person that was like in the one of the rides. It was a Goliath ride, like in the ride, like on the other side of us, and like they like were just a little too big to get on, so like, they had to get out.
It was humiliating. I felt so bad.
He was a good time out. There was one person that like was rude from the crowd, which I was surprised
That
about.
was really weird.
I expected everyone just kind of like shut up and like just let it happen.
Yeah, I like looked at the floor. I thought everyone was gonna do the same, but the person behind us was like,
But at the same time, everyone looked like no one really, besides that one guy, had any negative reaction to it. It's the one person that
"Who's
was,
behind us?
and even him, everyone was looking at him like, why?
Why stop?"
Yeah.
Well, he started as a joke. Like he didn't realize that they were actually gonna make him get off the ride. So he was just like poking fun, and they didn't want to make him get off the ride, but they could not. Like they
They
couldn't.
tried.
They really tried. And like from an employee point of view, like when I was in that situation, like you really try. Like you try to,
Yep.
So like there was a bunch of situations where I would have
And
like,
he wasn't even really that big, honestly. It's just how he carried it.
yeah.
Because there was one guy that was sitting beside him. He was probably about the same weight, but it was just
It
like
was the way they strapped you into the roller coaster, I think.
No, because the body difference. Like the one guy, because they're like these two people were in like the same group. There's like his friend or something. He was able to ride, but they're both about the same weight. But the problem is the one guy carries it different, and so like he was able to lock his in, and he has
Also,
like
it was
the
a
way
weird
his
ride.
body.
Like I'm sure he could have been any other, like Batman, Superman. It was the Goliath that we rode. If people go to Six Flags, I don't know if people go to Six Flags, but like the way that
Who
one.
doesn't- Okay, I mean unless you're like around like a Disneyland or Universal or something, everyone.
I feel like
Unless you're like in the middle of the country, everyone has been to Six Flags. I feel like.
no, because I feel like if you're from up north or something, I know there's one in New Jersey, but why would you travel that far for an amusement park?
They have Six Flags planned all across the U.S.
I know it's in Georgia and New Jersey. Those are the only two I know of.
There's one in Illinois, I believe.
Hmm.
And I know, like, obviously, like, when you go to, like, California, you're going to have, like, Disneyland. And then you have, like, Florida, you have, like, Universal. And then you have Disney World. So, like, they really don't have them. They don't need them because they have stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't know, because I haven't even met, like, a lot of people necessarily from California that go to this school, if I'm being honest.
I've met 3.
Really?
LA, San Francisco.
I wonder why you would... Yeah, that's so weird.
I think it's probably cost.
Maybe.
That, and also, I do know that some people that grow up, like, in a big city,
Mm-hmm.
they like to come, like, down to the south, where, like, especially, like, Tuscaloosa, like, okay, there's stuff for you to do, but, like, it's not, like, a big city. And so, like, some people like to slow down for 4 years.
Yeah, I get it.
Because especially what they'll probably do is they'll come stay for 4 years and they'll probably just go back.
Yeah.
And so what they'll do is they'll go and they can, like, relax for 4 years and not have to worry about big LA or anything like that.
I sort of get it. It's opposite for me because I would like to go to, like...
Well, if you, like, grow up there, though.
Yeah, I think everyone wants a different change of pace, you know, at some point in time. But yeah, that's always rough. It made me sad and it embarrassed me, and it was bad. But I had like the exact same situation where I'd have people who were like,
how did it embarrass you though? Because like
I was just
felt bad for
I
them?
just felt so bad. I feel for people, and I felt so bad for
I
them.
got you.
And I was also like,
I just felt bad that people were making fun of
Yeah.
them. Other than that, like, I mean, like, there's not much you can really do.
yeah, it just embarrassed me in the sense like I just felt so bad having to like watch it, and like there's nothing we could do. It was just it felt like a weird situation to be in. So, but like that would happen all the time with McGuane, like these people, and also it was just so it's not really for adults at all. It is a kids ride. And, like, there's no real rules or age limit on it. But, like, we'd have 40-year-olds and, like, 50-year-olds who would come up and be like, can I have a try? And we couldn't be like, no. So they would come.
You know that one dad that's just trying to be cool.
He's
what
always
it was.
like, hey, kids, let's... And I was like, stop. And he would always, like, so you can rock back and forth. It's completely, like, in the rules to do that.
Well, you have counterweights, so, like, okay, my engineering brain kicks off a little
explain
bit.
it.
There's, like, 2 big counterweights on the bottom. That's probably why it's weight limit, because if you go too much, the counterweights don't work, or if it just things.
Exactly,
So,
that is. Wow.
so what it is
So
like,
smart.
it balances you out on this wire. So, like, with the counterweight, if you rock back and forth, the weight's just going to bring you back. So, like, either way, it's fine. So
That's
like,
what I would always try to explain. Like, when people are like, can I flip over? We're like, no. But if you're a certain weight, yes, you can.
Well,
So-
like, it depends. Like, if you hold on, you probably wouldn't fall out. There's a net behind, like, under you just in case.
We've never had that happen. I don't know. I literally,
Well,
like,
honestly, can you imagine if that happened? That would be really bad for business.
I don't even know, like, word to anyone who goes to McGuane, we've never had anyone fall the net. If you're the first one, good luck. That's never happened. I don't know what we do.
At least there's a net. Well, if there's a net, you probably get some staff, and they'll probably just call
Yeah.
somebody to come get you.
We had a close call one time, though. This kid got stuck in the middle, and they started sliding. I was like, no, 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 no.
Sorry, what?
They started sliding. Like, they were, I didn't strap them in. Ooh, exposing myself. I didn't strap them in good enough. And pretty much they started sliding out.
Can you imagine if you were, like, the result of the first person to hit the net?
To hit the net, yeah.
Because imagine you being in the net.
Yeah, ooh, yeah. We do have, like, a little ladder thing for it, but, like, it's, like I said, it's not a common situation at all. So, like, we do have what is a common situation is, like, we've got a, like, claw, like a hook. So if kids are like, I can't do it, you have to hook them and pull them back. There's a little hole at the front of the bike, and you hook the bike, and you pull them all the way back. And I had a kid who was losing it one time. And when I finally hooked him, they screamed in even louder, like I was doing something bad. They're like,
Well, they probably just didn't know
"No!"
what was going on, probably.
And he was like, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to help. We're okay. And I pulled him back, and she was, like, unconsolable. She was crying and this and that. Like,
Yeah.
So, like, I think the kids know what they're getting into until they actually start pedaling. And it's also way easier going back.
Most
than
kids
coming.
know what to do either way. Like, if it
Yeah.
don't work one way, just reverse it.
Yeah. And then the Shark Tank was also an interesting one. They're always like, will they bite my fingers off? And I was like, no.
Probably just like lemon sharks, honestly.
We had someone wash their socks in the Shark Tank one time.
What? Like an employee or like a
No, a random person.
like an older person?
Yes, it was an older man who put his socks in the Shark Tank, wrung them out into the water, and put them back on. Like wet socks back on.
Can you imagine the day you have
I'm like,
to be
I'm
having?
calling the police.
Can you imagine the day you have to be having to just not care that much?
Yeah.
Like, you literally just did not care. You were like, I don't care what people think or do. Also, if you wring them out, I'm sorry, like, that's just going to make them wet. That's just uncomfortable. I don't want wet
it was
socks.
like, you're a psychopath. I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Like, isn't that insane? And then we had one other, like, situation with the Shark Tank where somebody, I can't remember what they did. And no, the sharks won't bite you. But they, like, aggravated the shark somehow, and it jumped a little bit. And that was, like, a freak out. We had to close the whole tank. So, yeah. But stuff like that, that was, like, the job that I go back to quite often because I like it, and that's the most normal one that I have.
Yep.
And that's the one that I have, like, currently. Like, I go back to that job every other break.
Only other job I have is the one I have now, which is a, like, I work at a hospital, but I don't work for the hospital. I work for, like, a separate company that's, like, under contract for them.
Do printers and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, I fix printers and copy machines, which is, like, okay, honestly, it's not a very exciting job, so I'm not going to go into the details of how to fix.
It can be. You just have funny stories and, like, your interactions with people. I think
interactions
that's
with people,
though.
but the job itself is very boring. Like, you do the same thing pretty much every day. But the interaction with people, like, everyone is... Okay, most people are relatively nice, but there are that one person.
That will always give you trouble.
Yeah, just, like, I don't know, like, you just know...
That, like, yeah, I had the same thing with Chick-fil-A. There was always one person who...
Like, most people there are fine, but there's one person that's, like, no matter what you do, it's just they're always in a bad mood, even if you make their day better. Like... I think it's like they're being nice, but they just don't know exactly how. Also, with doctors have some egos. Like I've had to
I could rant about doctors.
I've had people
and their
like
power complexes. Like,
well, we're not gonna go into that today, but like I'm just talking about like people like have like talked down almost to me, in a way. Like not that like it was like but like I was explaining a problem, and like okay, in their doctor brain they think they can figure it out and stuff, but they don't know exactly what they're talking about because they don't know how to fix the printer. And so it's like yes, you understand this way better than I do, but I know this. And so, like, you know, you can try to tell me how to fix it, but like, you know, they wouldn't know. So, like, I would just end up, you just have to deal with it and just move on. Just, you know, fake a smile, say, how are you? Finish the job, do a good job, and then just move on.
It's like a big part of having a job is just being like, have a nice day, like, smiling.
Oh, I did, I have, like, lines of stuff I would say.
I had the same thing with Chick-fil-A. I said my pleasure for forever.
Well, like they didn't make you like you had to say something, but like when I worked at the butcher shop, I had like haul people's like stuff that they like bought out to the car and stuff. And so it was like I was like, hey, how are you? You know, talk about your day or whatever, and then put everything in and be like, okay, have a good day. Like I always say that, and then like sometimes even catch myself like even if it's like friends like have a good day, I'm like sorry.
Yeah, I feel that with my pleasure too.
Does my pleasure come up that much though anymore?
I'll have random times where I'm like, oof, like the my pleasure will just pop out. My pleasure jumps out, yeah. But like I said, the year that I was working there and the year after I quit, I still I had to kick it. It was like a habit that was just bad. But yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense though. Like if people just you say something every single day for hours and hours and hours, you're gonna like your brain doesn't just kick it out automatically.
Yeah, it's just like an automatic thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, jobs.
Well, I think that's about it. But those are all the crazy, weird stories we've had. So,
all right.
Thank you for listening.
See you soon.